Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to Celebrity Cruises. This is how we river. Woo woo. Very excited. I'm just going to give it a few seconds here while we're getting this all on all our socials so that everybody has the opportunity to jump on. Looks like we already have quite a few people on here already, but hopefully we can share this out and get everybody that wants to see this. So again, this is Celebrity Cruises. This is how we river. And I'm Tina Dowd, owner of Vacations for Canadians, and I am here to answer all your burning questions about celebrity river cruises. Well, what I can answer anyways, because there's lots that we still can't answer, but we're here to do our best anyways. So tonight I'm joined by our agents, Karen, Rick, and Trisha. We may have others pop in at some point. I believe Luke had popped in, but I don't see him now again, so I'm not sure where he went. But we will be here to answer your questions. So pop them in the chat, and we will get to them just as soon as we are done with our presentation. So looks like we already started to get some questions. That's fantastic. That's great, guys. All right, so this is so exciting. Celebrity Cruises has announced they're getting into the river cruise game. And we do know that they have announced 10 ships and 2 are going to be sailing in 2027. So we do know that much. Now, what do we know about river? Small ships, typically under 200 people, and they're typically in Europe. So we'll get to a little bit more on the next slide. What we know that the 2 ships that are starting in 2027 are going to be on the Danube and on the Rhine. So the Danube is Eastern Europe and goes through Germany, Austria, Slovakia, Hungary, Croatia, Serbia, Romania, Bulgaria, Moldova, and Ukraine. So that is the entire Danube. We don't know the specific itinerary yet, but that is where the Danube River goes. And we also know that Celebrity has announced they're also going to be on the Rhine River. And the Rhine River goes through the Swiss Alps. So Switzerland, Liechtenstein, Austria, France, Germany, and the Netherlands before emptying into the North Sea. So we do know those are the 2 rivers that we're starting off with. So we will have 1 ship on each, and we will be getting final itineraries very, very, very soon. All right, next slide. Oh, nope, that didn't work. Hold on. Next, I hit the wrong button. Okay, what's included in a Celebrity River Cruise? Well, we all love that Celebrity Cruises. What do they always include? They always include drinks and Wi-Fi when we book into our exclusive group rates. So, dang get it, they did it again. There are going to be drinks and there's going to be Wi-Fi. And so we don't have to worry about adding on and getting a bill and all those extra things. We're going to have that included. So most typically river cruise lines do include some sort of a drink package and a Wi-Fi. So Celebrity's right in there with them. So it'll be select wine, beer, and cocktails, coffee, and soft drinks all day. And then there'll likely be a premium package that you can upgrade to if you want to. But I'm sure there'll be lots of options in their regular drink package that will be included in the price. Dining, all dining included on your river, including a 24-hour option. So that would be like a room service option. Onboard experiences. So they often have, fun events or things going on. Like if you're at the Christmas markets, maybe you'll make some gingerbread cookies, things like that. So all of that would be included, and shore excursions. Very typical of river cruise lines to include your shore excursions, and Celebrity is no different. So when we are looking at prices, we need to consider that all of this is included. All right, next slide. Okay, priority booking access. I know a lot of people are like, what is this? Why do we have to do this? Well, I'm here to tell you that you are likely not going to get onto a Celebrity ship in 2027 if you do not do priority booking access. So we have it set up that we are going to be, starting well before 9 a.m. because that's what time they say they're going to be open, but we'll be starting earlier, I'm sure, checking for it, to be able to book these priority booking access bookings. We can do them quick. We know exactly what the fields are to pump in. We're going to have your credit cards ready, and we will book your priority bookings immediately. So if you decide that you do want to book it on your own, that's fine. We can still have it transferred over to our agency after, but it's a lot easier if you just put it through us to begin with. We'll send you an invoice this week, get your A-OK for the deposit, the refundable deposit, and then on September 3rd, we will go ahead and purchase those priority booking access. Now, the reason I say is you're likely not going to be stepping foot on a Celebrity River cruise in 2027 without this is because, like I said, 2 ships, under 200 people each sailing, that's not a lot of space when you can compare it to an ocean river cruise or ocean cruise like Celebrity has. They, 2,000 to 3,000 people per ship. This is less than 200 people per ship. So we are really going to need to be on the ball, get these priority bookings placeholders made so that when we get to pick the itinerary, the sailing that we want, we already have that access, because I'm not sure there's going to be anything left after. Just looking in my crystal ball, but this is what I'm saying. All right, next slide. So here, they're just confirming here, it's giving our guests the first chance to book 2027 river cruises before they become open to the general public. And I'll share with you some dates. The general public are going to be much later, after all of the priority bookings are completed. So September 3rd, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, they're going to open up this priority booking access, and we're going to go in and we're going to book all these placeholders for you guys. At that point, we're going to get a booking confirmation. We're going to get a brochure with all the itineraries and lead-in pricing, and we'll be able to flip that over to you right away. So September 3rd, soon as we get you booked, we're going to flip you that information. You will have exactly 1 week to figure out where you want your placeholder to go. Because on September the 10th, Celebrity is going to start reaching out to us to find out what our clients want, what sailings they want. So you've got 1 week to figure it out. Then we're going to get contacted by Celebrity, and then we're going to put the placeholders onto a specific booking. Okay? It's clear as mud. It's going to be a stressful week, guys. And then later in the summer, that's when general sailings open up. I just don't see there being any space left. Okay. One more thing about priority booking access is it is going to be by loyalty. So they are going to start calling Zenith loyalty members first. Once they're through the Zenith loyalty members, they will call the Elite Plus loyalty members. Once they're through them, they'll call the Elite members. Now, I'm here to tell you that we have a few Elite Plus members on our team, and we are allowed to secure bookings for them and then name change them after. So we're going to go in and grab a few extras. So even if you're not on that loyalty tier, still reach out to us and we will try our best to secure something with our name and flip it over to you. So don't fear. We have people at the Elite Plus level. We should be able to get some extras that we can share with you guys. All right. Okay. That is the end of my presentation. I know that went fairly quickly, but I know there's a lot of questions. So I'm going to start going through them. All right. Now, Karen, Rick, and Tisha, are you all comfortable answering questions? Because we'll each take turns at them if you want.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yep.
All right, Karen, why don't you get started?
Okay, so looking forward to this. We are too. We've been really, really waiting for this for a very long time. Trust us. Will the river cruises be part of the Captain's Club, or something I would like to know? Absolutely. So the great thing is your loyalty program is going to somehow map over, and it will be considered for your pre-booking as well as for your actual sailing. So the answer is yes. We don't know exactly all the details just yet, but it was made loud and clear that yes, it will be something that they'll be bringing over to the river cruises as well for the loyalty, which is great.
Fantastic. Okay, next one. Rick, do you want to take this?
All right. Wanting to find out what ships will be like, old versus new. Where did they come from? They're building these from scratch. They're designing them to their own specifications, and they're supposed to be something really special. If you've been on river cruises, Celebrity is going to do it to their style. If you look at the Edge class ships, they're much different than everything else before it. You can expect something like that this time around. Preference to wait until they work out the kinks. Yeah, I think Celebrity's been around the block enough to, they figured it out. Will pricing be different depending on the current status? What does that mean?
Loyalty, I
Loyalty?
think.
A loyalty, okay.
I'm thinking loyalty.
No,
Yeah.
the status will just be used for priority, as Tina said. We'll start off with the Zenith, work down to the Elite Plus, and then Elite. But everybody will get the same pricing. That's what they've shared with us so far.
All right. Okay. I'm going to just jump in here because this is a pretty easy one. So we don't have the answer. We don't know what month they're coming out. I'm going to guess that it's going to be spring 2027. I really hope so, but they haven't told us anything about, they just said 2027.
Well,
all right. Going to pass the next one on. Sorry, Rick, what were you going to say?
So the river cruise season typically starts around April. So, we don't know, but hopefully it starts there.
Exactly. All right. You're up again, Karen.
There we go. Excited to hear about these. Has never done a river cruise, but love Celebrity. Hoping there will be some info on the new ships and if Captain Club crossed over these products. So I think we did address that one in the earlier question. It does. And they're going to be brand new ships. We're equally as excited as you are. And we all can't wait to get on board too. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a fun year.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Okay, Rick, you're up.
Will the Wi-Fi be better than on the ships? Well, you're not too far from land, number one. I've been on a few river cruises, and I work while I'm on these river cruises, and the Wi-Fi is fantastic. So I expect it to be the same standard.
All right. Okay, next one. Oh, yep, that is the next one. Okay, does Vacations for Canadians already have some group rates for sailings in 2027? Oh, I wish. They haven't told us anything about group space yet. So we're kind of crossing our fingers that something comes out, whether it be extra perks or discounted rates. At this point, we're still in a holding pattern to find out about groups. Like I said, there's so many thousands of agents out there, and we're all going for the same, 200 spots per ship. So hoping, but at this point, no guarantees yet. Maybe something for 2028 would be a little more likely.
I think these are going to go so fast that there's going to be no chance for, for much. Okay. All right. So I think I'm up next. So how many days will these cruises be? I don't know why I think there's 7 days. Is that because I heard it or because I'm just dreaming it up? Did anybody else hear that on the panel?
They're all typically 7 days.
They typically run a week by week, right? So I guess that's maybe a safe assumption. I think we're going to learn a little bit more in a couple of weeks when those brochures are released with the actual itineraries. But I'd say if I was betting, I would go on a 7-day itinerary.
Now, they did say that they're working on pre and post cruise packages, but they're not available yet.
Right, that's true. So that's a great way to extend your vacation, right? Because you want to get into one spot and enjoy it by land a little bit before you hop on the riverboat. So, yeah.
Okay, Rick, you're up.
Looking forward to hearing a Celebrity will be different from other river cruises. Amen. I agree with you there. Celebrity is going to do it the Celebrity way. That you can count on that, and that's going to be one of the best ways possible.
Yeah, absolutely. We know Celebrity standards. Okay, wondering about casinos. I'm going to take a wild stab in the dark and say no, because the ships are just too small for something like that. Rick, would you agree with me?
I don't think I've seen a river cruise with a casino, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of room. Like the ships are pretty small, so I'm going to say probably not. But you know what? Maybe you go to somewhere like in Europe that has a casino. I don't know. Okay, Karen.
Will priority booking be good for 2028? I think I only heard about 27 so far. So from what I understand, they're only releasing that 2027 right now. And then probably, I'm not sure how long it's going to be before they release the 28s, but I think it's just for the first year.
Yep.
And that will keep us hopping, I believe. Lots to choose from.
All right, Rick.
I'm sure you're going to find it available in both Canadian and US dollars. So you'll be okay.
Yeah, we've been told to count on, so we already know the $500 US deposit. And then we were also told by our sales manager at Celebrity to expect around $700 for the Canadian deposit. So that would indicate that we're likely going to be getting it in Canadian dollars as well. And they're pretty good to us Canadians. Okay. Well, I guess this is subjective, so maybe we'll all take a guess on this one. You want to start, Karen?
Sure. I think that they've done a really great job of getting us all excited about this. And we've been waiting for so long. My guess is that there's so many people lined up that they may not need to discount them. That's my guess, because I do think that they're going to be probably very market ready price. I don't think they're going to be crazy, hopefully. And Celebrity's got a great brand, a great name. People follow it. They love it. They know they're going to get a quality experience. So I think they're going to be fair prices.
Yeah, I agree. The Celebrity name is there. People have been talking about this, for almost a year now? And the excitement is there. So they're not going to have to resort to pricing to get people interested.
I would agree. I don't think we're going to get deals per se. I think in line with Celebrity pricing, the pricing will be fair for what you get. I don't think there's going to be any extra deals to try and entice people, because I think this is just going to go like wildfire, to be honest. All right. Is there any more questions in there, Karen, that I am not seeing?
There's some more.
Okay.
We need to start them.
Oh, have I missed any?
Okay, here's one. Okay, Rick, do you have the answer for this one? I know this one if you don't know.
Yeah, they said you can actually book them on board. If you're on a Celebrity ship next week, you can book them on board using the same process as we described through the Future Cruise desk. So you can do that. Can deposits be moved to river cruises? You mean transfer from a
So if you already own a deposit, can you transfer it to a river cruise?
Yeah, but the cruise next.
Is that what it's called with Celebrity?
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah. So, okay, let me just clarify. You cannot use it, the Future Cruise, whatever they call it with Celebrity, drawing a blank. You cannot use it to buy the priority access, but you can absolutely use it to book a cruise.
Oh, yes.
But
they said that.
Like we were saying, you really need to do the priority access for 2027. So you might want to save that deposit for something else. And Rick is also correct. If you are on a cruise not next week, September 3rd week, you can book the priority access through the Future Cruise desk.
Yeah.
All right. Kara.
Oh, that's a great question. So Carol's asking, how will Celebrity handle high and low waters on rivers between stops? And I'm going to defer to the panel on that one, because I'm not sure how that will work.
I think it's going to be very typical to what other cruise lines are doing right now, is that if it's low, what they typically do is they get you, on a bus to the next stop. I don't know how they're going to do it if they don't have another ship on the other end, but
right.
Anyways, I'm going to let Rick take this one on.
So like if you're on an Avalon or an Ama Waterways or a Scenic, and if there's a low point in the river, well, ship A will stop, transfer all the passengers to ship B, which is at the other side of the low water zone.
But if Celebrity only has a ship A on that river,
that's an excellent question.
that's where I'm trying to get tripped up.
Very good question.
I don't know how. Then
could be a long bus ride.
Like I do know that they make the hull of the ship shallower and shallower. Like I know some cruise lines have the hull like smaller than others, so they can get through less water. So maybe because they're newer ships, they're going to be able to get through rivers that are low. This is all to be seen.
Very good
Okay.
question.
Yeah, very good question. All right. Okay, Rick, do you want to take this one?
Let us know as soon as possible, Kate. If we don't have it already in our file, you should be reaching out to. If you're interested, at the same time you send in your information for the priority booking, let us know your loyalty status, and we'll make sure it gets conveyed.
Okay. All right, Karen.
Will there be any solo rates that apply? How will pricing be compared to other cruise lines? So pricing, we believe, is going to be very competitive. We haven't seen the prices just yet. That will be coming up very soon. They did talk about double occupancy cabins. So I don't know if they're going to be doing any solo rates. That's something we can definitely look into. I'm not certain, Marnie. I know we were talking about some other cruises earlier by email, but it's something we'll need to look into and find out how the pricing would be for the single supplement.
I can just add on there too that they did tell us that there will be absolutely no triples and quads. So if you have 3 in your party, you will need to be split up into 2 rooms. There's every room will be double occupancy. They didn't say anything about solos.
No,
And the other thing that I'm going to add on here too is that the minimum age is 4 years old. So a little bit different than ocean cruising.
Yeah, and no triples or quads is typical for river cruises.
Right.
The cabins are a little smaller than you're used to.
Okay, Rick?
No. So the ships will not be returning till typically a Rhine river cruise will go from Amsterdam to Basel, Switzerland, or vice versa, and they cover that itinerary in about 7 days. So it's 1 week going north and 1 week going south, north and south throughout the year. Same thing on the Danube. They'll go east to west, start around Regensburg all the way up to Budapest, if that's the itinerary they're selecting. But that's what I just described as the typical.
Yeah, these are just our educated if guesses. Okay. Okay, just to confirm, the bookings start at the highest loyalty level and goes to elite. No, so it'll keep going until I would imagine everything is sold out. So it's going to start at Zenith, then it's going to go to Elite Plus, then it's going to go to Elite, then it's going to go to Select, and then Classic would be, and then no loyalty. I believe that's the tier. It's just going to keep going until it's sold out.
That's right.
If you decide no, how soon do you get your deposit returned? Tina, do we hear anything about how we like the cash out process if they decide that there's nothing that's really catching their eye?
I would assume it's very much the same as Ocean,
Typical.
like probably 5 to 7 days.
We would just cancel that pre-booking reservation, and then it would just come out of the system, and then they would just do their usual refund from what I would.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, we could even, if they're allowing double name change, we could buy it too ourselves, right? We could flip our money on and then have their money returned, or whatever works best. But we could, if they're allowing double name change, we could buy the deposit. Is there anything else in there that I'm missing, guys?
No, I think you're right. It's going to be a typical return process. So
yeah,
the 1 week business days.
They did mention air this morning, in that we will be able to book air through them. So because they're not new, right? They've been around a while. They already have tons of ships over there in Europe. So this isn't new to them to have the air department. So this will just be an add-on to Celebrity River as well, and we'll be able to book our flights through Celebrity River. And if you've ever booked through Flights by Celebrity, you'll find that the prices are very competitive, if not cheaper, to book through them because they often have contracted prices. So okay, next question, Rick.
Thanks for answering. Do we do this on the website or through your agent? Always call your favorite agent. We're there to work with you and to answer all these questions, as there are many tonight. There'll be more in the future. So we're there to help.
Okay. Karen.
Will they have any adults only river cruises? Don't know. I would imagine that the clientele is going to be primarily adults. I'm not sure we've heard anything about specifically that are adults only, but just I would say the typical demographic of a river cruise passenger is that it's going to be mostly adults. There's no kids clubs. They don't have that type of thing on there. So You might find the odd youngin, but I don't think it's going to be a popular thing like you would find at March break and in the Caribbean kind of cruise. But I've not heard anything either way on that respect.
I've done 3 river cruises and I haven't seen a child yet. Rick, have you on yours?
I was just gonna say I haven't seen a child yet.
Yeah, it's not common. It can happen, but it's not common.
My wife might call me a child, but no.
That's a whole different thing, Rick.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Okay, are the deposits being charged directly in Canadian or US converted? We believe they will be charged in Canadian. We do know Celebrity. We can sell in Canadian. So we believe it'll be the same system. Obviously, we don't have confirmation, but our guess is that we will be able to book straight through in Canadian. Anything else?
I don't see any.
Got them all.
Sorry, guys. We're just trying to keep track of all these questions. Okay. Well, we'll give it a few more minutes. If anybody has anything that we've missed and you want to pop it in there again, we're as a team very excited. I know personally I'm buying my own deposit, and some of my travel friends are also buying their own deposits. We're very excited about this. I think it's going to be a great experience, and I mean, you just can't go wrong with river cruises. River cruises are just so great. So, okay. Is there any?
There's one.
There's one? Okay. I don't know why I can't see it. Oh, here we go. Okay, start. Okay. Oh, I would hope so. I mean, they're going to be in 2 fantastic places for Christmas markets. So, yeah, I would assume so. So, I believe Christmas markets are open like the majority of December and maybe even right into January. I've done Christmas markets personally in the Rhine, and it was amazing. Lots of Glühwein.
I think it's November and December.
Yeah. But I do think it goes past Christmas a bit too.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, next one. All right, Karen, you want to take that?
Absolutely. So if interested in putting a placeholder down, do you just email one of us to request? Absolutely. Yes, you can email any of us or the main request to quote line, and we will help you get that deposit secured. And then we'll be kind of just doing a bit of wait and see. Once those deposits are there and they start rolling out based on loyalty, then we will get a call if your name is pulled up, and we'll be speaking with you to get that booked.
Yep. So I am just going to pull up the website. If that's, I believe, it for questions. Let's see if I can share my screen.
Carolyn has a question.
Oh, okay. Do you think they will announce 2028 this year as well? Maybe by the end of the year. I would think it's going to come out not that far after, but most cruise lines are just dabbling into 2028 right now, so we'll just kind of have to wait and see.
Well, they have more ships coming out in 2028. Okay. What happened?
Yeah.
There's exactly. More ships coming out in 2028.
Can you guys see my web?
Yeah, sorry.
Yes.
No, it's fine. Can you see it? So there's our phone number. That's our email right there. If you want to just email in the regular email, that'll gets dispersed out to one of the agents. Or you can go right here to About Us and our team, and then you can pick which agent you want. So they're all here with their email addresses and a little description about them all. So you can go ahead and do that and find your favorite agent that way. All right. Well, if that's it, I am going to end this webinar and hope to hear from you all this week prior to September 3rd to get on our list for those priority access bookings. All right. Happy sailing, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.